and welcome to the first ever Pridecast, brought to you by Mashable, Google+, and NYC Pride. My name is Armand Valdez, and I'm joined here by Annie Colbert.
Hi Armand, this is amazing!
This is incredible.
So amazing,
so
it is
crazy.
Loud, but it is really cool. For the first time ever, we're uniting the NYC Pride March right here, straight from the march route. You can see it's happening right here with guests from around the country using YouTube and Hangouts. People from all over the world have been celebrating Pride this month, and this year, the Mashable team, that's us, we're bringing NYC Pride across the country so community members, LGBT folks, and allies can celebrate wherever they are.
Yep, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And this is really cool. We've got correspondents all along the route. We have Brian Hernandez, who's going to be bringing us some really great interviews today. And we have Samantha Murphy, who's actually on the Google float right now.
She's on the float.
Yeah, she's going to be marching down as well.
We hope she has a lot of water.
And some sunscreen.
Yes.
It's very sunny out here today. We'll also be checking our social feeds for the hashtag Pridecast.
Yeah, definitely. We want to see how you're celebrating Pride today. So definitely send us photos, send us just little anecdotes about what you're doing, because we want to see it. So hashtag Pridecast, and we'll be checking them later.
That's right. And towards the end of the Pridecast, we're going to be joined by Dave Studinsky, who's the NYC Pride March director, and he's going to be answering your questions. So make sure to send them to that hashtag.
Yeah. All right, we're hearing the motorcycles are coming by right now. This is, wow.
This is really crazy. You know,
this is crazy.
The Pride March has been a staple of the New York cultural calendar since 1970 to commemorate the Stonewall riots of 1969. Today the march serves to inspire, educate, commemorate, and celebrate the diverse community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is, it's huge now.
It's, yeah, I mean, like, this is insane.
Yeah, we're here in the Flatiron District, so we're about 10 blocks into the march, and the energy is just, everyone is so excited.
Yeah.
I think we have about 4 blocks worth of motorcycle riders.
Yeah, it's a lot of motorcycles right now, yeah. This is really cool.
Yeah, this is the perfect way to kick it off, though. You can't miss it. They're loud, they're excited.
Annie, what is your favorite thing about Pride?
My favorite thing about Pride is just seeing how excited everybody is for the day and how everyone really comes together. I remember going to Pride in Chicago for a long time, and the energy was just so amazing.
Yeah, I think it's just such a great show of support for the community that we have here.
Absolutely.
And I think what's really important about the Pridecast is that we're really connecting all the different communities today.
We are.
There's a Pride March in San Francisco, and there have been celebrations throughout the week all over the country and the world. So
absolutely. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some of our Grand Marshals who Brian is going to be talking to. There's some big names there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go. Gonna keep going.
Cool, and we're going to be joined by Fred Sargent, one of the original Stonewall protesters, very shortly, so make sure to stay tuned for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And those are the motorcycles that are going down 5th Avenue right now.
Looks like we might have a little bit of a roadblock. They're still going. How do you think Samantha's doing on that float?
I hope she's all right.
I hope she's okay.
I think she's having a great time.
I'm sure she is. We're having a great time. Oh, that was very loud.
And there are some of the marchers right there.
Yep. Oh, there's people on their balconies. That's a great way to watch the march.
Yeah, that's a great view.
Yeah. Oh, here's Fred Sargent, and he's coming along, I believe.
Hey, hey, Fred.
We really do have a front row seat.
Yeah, it's
This
great.
is an amazing way to watch Pride.
Yep.
I remember watching Pride in Chicago as a teenager and having to, you know, fight your way in, and you want a shady spot. I believe Fred is coming over.
Well, this is definitely one of the more colorful marches that New York City has seen.
And such a huge turnout.
Yeah. They always have big turnouts for these.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see bubbles now. That's a March staple.
Bubbles, yep.
Bubbles, yes.
Staple of the March.
March staple. Who else are we looking forward to talking to today? We have Everyone is Gay, the founders of that.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun.
Yeah. The folks from Campus Pride.
Campus Pride, that's right.
Any of these people, if you have questions for them, please send them our way through social with the hashtag Pridecast.
Yeah. Yep.
We want to talk to you, because right now we're just talking to each other.
Brian's going to be speaking to Laverne Cox from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And some of the cast members from HBO's Looking.
Yeah, Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff, yeah.
Yes. All right.
Yeah. I mean, the energy here is amazing. It's
incredible. I know, we keep talking about that, but it's really true. And it's something that we hope that you can see as you're watching the feed, because it's just unmatched by any other march that you see throughout the year. And we couldn't have a more perfect day.
Absolutely. It's beautiful
It's
here.
really, really
Absolutely
beautiful.
You know, and I think what's really cool about what we're doing here is a lot of people are going to be joining us via Google Hangouts. So I think that's a really interesting use of technology to bring people that couldn't normally join us in person to the march.
We're going to have Ann Curry.
Yeah, Ann Curry's going to be here.
Ann Curry's amazing. She just had a big interview with Desmond Tutu, so we're going to talk to her about that.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah, and we may even play some games.
We might play some games.
We may play some games.
Yeah.
Or we might just talk to each other.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
That's great.
Oh, we have some Boy Scouts walking by right now. You can see them behind us. Should we wave to the Boy Scouts?
Let's wave to the Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts!
Hi, everyone.
Great. And that guy in roller skates. We should have worn roller skates.
We should have worn roller skates. We could have done all of our interviews roller skating.
On roller skating. Next year. Next year we're going to wear roller skates.
Well, now we know, right?
Yeah, now we know that you have to wear roller skates. And maybe fun hats.
Definitely fun hats.
Yeah. Just keep it going.
That's Heritage of Pride.
Nice.
Wow, look at those balloons. My gosh.
Now, do you think they inflated those today?
Yeah, I think they did it right before the march started.
Yeah. You can't really store those anywhere.
They were procrastinating.
Yes,
yeah.
Of course. Hello.
Hi, guys.
You're doing a good job.
Good job. Great. Great. So we're going to be joined by Fred Sargent very shortly.
It's a huge honor to have him here.
It really is.
It's a really big deal.
He's a trailblazer in the LGBT community.
And I feel like his perspective on the march is much deeper.
Well, I think it's.
Well, that's can appreciate.
It means different things for him. You know?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
He was really there for the start of the marches in New York City, so it's going to be very interesting to see what he thinks of the march today and what it's turned into.
I think the word of the day is woo!
Test 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2. You want to just see the...
If you want to send us your favorite woo moment, you can use hashtag Pridecast.
Hashtag Pridecast, hashtag woo.
Hashtag woo! 10 O's.
10 O's, yeah.
10 O's,
10
yes.
O's.
Excellent. We're going to send things over to one of our correspondents now.
Yep.
Annie, this year, NYC Pride is marshaled by 3 inspiring advocates. First up, we have Jonathan Groff, who is the star of HBO's Looking, Disney's Frozen, and HBO's The Normal Heart. Jonathan, NYC Pride. Great, how are you?
I'm great. This is amazing. We're having such a blast.
So how has it been this year to be part? Hey, Frankie.
Hi. Good to meet you.
We're going to talk about Looking. So how has it been to be part of projects that are so closely aligned with your personal interests?
It really makes it so special. I mean, yeah, it makes it so much more meaningful, and I'm so proud to be a part of shows that are LGBT positive.
And when we're looking forward to season 2 of Looking, what can we expect?
I think some twists, some surprises. I think all the sort of exciting stuff. We have 2 extra episodes too, which we're really excited about. Expanding the story.
And what type of reception have you received with The Normal Heart and Looking, and how has it been for you?
It's been amazing. I mean, it's
so
great. It's so great to see the gay community really rally and support gay projects. I feel really blessed to be a part of them, and it's amazing to see the community come together.
Thanks, Jonathan. Good luck today.
Are we still?
Next up, we have Laverne Cox from Orange is the New Black.
We can't walk any further.
Laverne, say hi to NYC Pride.
Hi, NYC Pride. I'm here with Dolores Hello.
Thank you.
Is it good? Okay.
This is on the final.
Great. Thanks, Brian.
Good job.
So,
Just watch the live.
we're
If they go by,
hello. Hi. Fred. Nice to meet you.
I mean, I could keep talking about them.
Oh yes.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey,
This
Fred.
is Annie. My name is Armand.
Annie?
It's an honor to meet you.
Fred.
Thank you.
Hello.
Did you hear fine?
I could hear fine here. I assume they could there, or we would have heard.
How's your day going?
Warm.
Yeah, it's very warm.
It's a little cooler up in Vermont where I live. So.
Yeah. All right. We are honored to be joined here by Fred Sargent, who was one of the original Stonewall Marchers from 1970. Fred, thank you so much for joining us today. It really is an honor. So can you describe for us the energy of the first Pride March in 1970?
The energy was not quite as organized as the energy today. we had a lot of questions when we were starting out. We didn't even have our permit until that morning.
Wow.
So things are very much up in the air. We didn't know how we were going to be received, and we were pretty much hoping for the best, and that's what we got.
So you guys just kind of mobilized and went and did it?
That's right. We spent the better part of from late 1969 until the March in June organizing and putting together the plan.
Sure. And how do you feel now that it's become this sort of cultural event? How does it feel today to be here and to see this?
It's really everything that we were looking for at the time, and more. It was about visibility for us because there was such a lack of visibility for lesbians and gays back in 1969, and that was the focus of our first march. And we see this visibility today in the march in ways we never expected. It's tremendous.
Yeah, it is. Now, we're getting to the point where a lot of LGBT, some of the younger LGBT people weren't even born for the Stonewall riots.
Right.
How do you feel that younger generations are carrying on sort of the legacy that you created, or do you think that there's more that can still be done from sort of the younger generations?
Well, I'm very pleased to see here today. I had no idea what I would find when I got here. So many young people that are participating and energized, and they understand that the work is not done, that much more will need to happen. We have problems in Uganda, Nigeria, even in Alabama, having to do with whether gay rights will be ever to be affirmed. And it's good that the younger people today still see that commitment has to be kept.
Yeah. Who are some of the LGBT influencers that are around today that you're really kind of paying attention to and that you think are sort of moving things forward?
Well, groups like GLAAD, another group that we had heard of, but then didn't have so much to do with. But they're kind of losing my train of thought here. But as far as leadership goes, groups like the Human Rights Campaign. These are all groups that developed after the march, and they're providing so much of what we need today.
Are there any individuals that stick out to you from these organizations?
To cite any one individual, I'd almost slight another individual. I'd like to keep it, that they're all doing a terrific job.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who has not participated in LGBT activism but would like to?
Well, certainly activism can mean many different things. It can be an aspect of your life. If it's coming out to your coworkers or coming out to family and friends, you can start small or you can start large. You can come to a Pride March and then go and talk to your family and friends. But that visibility is the key to the whole thing working, and why we're seeing the results we're seeing today. Why marriage is now almost a foregone conclusion for the entire country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
How do you see the movement evolving in the coming years?
What's that?
How do you see the movement evolving in the coming years?
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
How do you see the movement evolving in the coming years?
I think it almost has to become, while it is international, I think there has to be more of an international focus because of the extreme danger that gay people are finding themselves in around the world. An American can travel someplace and not realize where they're putting themselves at the time they go on vacation.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And can I ask, what are your plans for the rest of the day?
I'm going to follow up through the march and see what's happening at the end of the march.
Very cool. Great. Well, it was an honor having you here, and thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the rest of your day. It's a beautiful day, so.
Thank you.
And
wow.
let's take a look at what's happening on the route here.
We're getting a lot of waves.
We're getting a lot of waves.
A lot of waves.
We're getting a lot of hellos. A lot of hat tips.
Yeah. What do we have here?
And we've got NYC Comptroller Scott Stringer celebrating Pride today.
Celebrating Pride. Who do we have coming next? Letitia James. It's rolling through the Flatiron. Now at this point in the parade, I feel like people still have a lot of energy. I feel like the energy really goes throughout the parade, but in the early days, you have some time here.
I hope everyone's staying hydrated.
Yes. We should have Gatorade that we throw at people.
We should start throwing Gatorade at people, yeah. I think that's something we could probably...
Yes. Something small we could do. Happy Pride!
And remember to tweet us or engage with us on any social media platform with hashtag Pridecast.
Pridecast. We should keep saying it so people remember.
Pridecast, Pridecast, Pridecast.
Hashtag Pridecast.
Hashtag Pridecast.
Hashtag. We're going to have someone bring over questions to us soon, and we want to hear what you're doing.
Yes.
Because you can see what we're doing.
You can see us. We can't see you, though.
We can't.
So that's the only way we're going to know what you're doing today.
Yeah. Send us photos. What should we ask people to send photos of?
Send us photos of how your cats are celebrating Pride. Because maybe we'll feature them later.
Yes. Or your dog.
Or your dog. Your pets.
Or if you have a ferret.
We're not inclusive here. We're
very inclusive.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'd be interested to know what everyone's up to today.
Oh, somebody's coming. What's coming up next is a very loud sound system. It's a giant sound system.
It's...
All right, I think we're going to toss it over to Brian, who I'm sure has an amazing interview. Brian, how's it going? Brian? Oh, there. Oh, okay.
City Council members, Margaret Shin, Andy Cohen, Rory Capo, Greg Carroll, Rory Lansing,
pressing issue that New York needs to address right now in the LGBT community?
There's always going to be issues that affect all communities. We got to continue to support the organizations that are providing services to the LGBT community, and particularly outside of Manhattan. Very excited about being able to work on that.
Thanks for your time, Melissa. Good luck today. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Happy Pride to y'all. How y'all feeling out there? Big Freedom Queen of Bounds. Girl down. You already know. Jump, 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 jump on it. Jump, 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 jump on it. Oh, jump, jump.
All right, well, thank you, Brian. We have some tweets here from @JustinJason for Erie. I'm watching from Erie, Pennsylvania. Hello.
Hey.
45 years ago, our anthem still marched proudly through the globe. Pride, love, and equality.
Thanks, Jason.
Hey, thanks, Jason.
Good tweet.
And we also have a tweet from, oh man, I'm gonna screw this up. Kafey G. Hey, Kafey, sorry, I don't know if that's
Keefy?
how you, Kafey? Koofy?
Keefy?
Koofy, probably Koofy.
Tweet us and let us know.
Yeah. Love that I can be far from home, but because of #Pridecast, I can still watch the Pride March in NYC. Well, we don't know where you are, yeah, but thank you for watching, and we hope it makes you feel a little bit more at home.
Yeah.
We've got some really cool floats coming by, some honest tea being handed out to hydrate everybody.
Indeed. Oh, City University.
All right, and we have some more of your tweets coming in.
Nice. Let's see what we have
From
here.
@Palm Springs Kev, @NYC Pride, happy Pride, watching from Palm Springs, #Pridecast.
Ooh, Palm Springs.
Hey, Palm Springs.
That's a really good place to be watching from today.
It's probably really hot over there. Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're joining us here.
All right, let's see. We also have a note from Grayson Powell. Hello, Grayson. #Pridecast, watching my first Pride parade from the Upper East Side. Love.
Oh, hey.
Love to you,
You're
too.
not too far away.
You're not too far.
You're just right back there.
Yeah, we could just hop on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should come
Just,
say hi to us.
Jump on a float and then come
Right
down
on
and say hi.
We'll be here. All right, who else do we have? @Daniel Bauer US says, what are the Lost hosts doing after the march? Hosts, what are we doing?
What are you doing after the
I was
march?
gonna just keep the pride going.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think I'm just gonna walk around and enjoy the day and see what else is happening.
Maybe just lay out in the park.
Probably just lay out in the park. It's a beautiful day for that.
It is. It's really stunning out. All right, we're gonna throw it to Brian. Brian, how's it going? Brian, are you out there?
We're here with Edie Windsor. It's been a year since the Supreme Court ruled that the Defense of Marriage Act was unconstitutional. Edie, how has it been since then?
It's been wonderful. It's been just glorious. The whole gay community has changed in its attitudes, in its all gone, you know, internalized homophobia. I mean, everybody is steaming with self-esteem, and it's wonderful.
And you've been an inspiration to so many people. Who were your role models growing up?
Me?
Who were your role models growing up?
Like my family, mostly.
Congratulations on all your success, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
That was Edie Windsor, everyone. Great name in the LGBT community, and back to you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
You know, I had the opportunity to see Edie Windsor speak this week at the Logo TV Trailblazers, and she is a really funny lady. You know, she's been through a lot in her life, and it was really inspiring to see that not only does she have the weight of the cultural influence that she's gone through in her life, but that she's also just kind of fun and funny and has a sense of humor about it all. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, we have Out for Freedom walking by right now.
I think that's Dan Bucatinsky from Scandal.
Is that Dan Bucatinsky?
I think we've got some Dan Bucatinsky here.
Hey, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn you up.
Can you hear me? I wish I were there. I wish I were there in the street.
We can see you, Dan.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Good. Yeah, I can hear you. I wish I were there in the parade.
I don't know if you noticed, but there's a march happening right behind us.
Yes, you may be able to see it and hear it.
I can see it and hear it. I wish I were there instead of here.
It's you can just watch it behind us. It'll be like the same thing almost. Yeah. All right, so let's introduce Dan Bucatinsky. He's of Scandal, which is a show everyone talks about. And also, if that wasn't enough, he's also part of the web series It Got Better. So first off, Dan, happy Pride again.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
Happy
so you're
Pride to you guys. I just said happy Pride. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, all right, we'll ask Dan some questions.
Yes.
Which also, if you have questions, send them in. All right, so you're collaborating with Lisa Kudrow on It Got Better. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the project and where people can check it out?
Yeah. Well, Lisa Kudrow and I have been partners for 12 years, and we do a show called Who Do You Think You Are? And then we were lucky enough to meet up with and want to collaborate with Dan Savage. And we sort of thought, what would be the merging of our show, Who Do You Think You Are, with It Gets Better? And I got very excited about the idea of telling the story, telling individual profiles of prominent individuals, not just telling people that it gets better, but talking about when in their lives their insurmountable obstacles felt or became surmountable. And we were lucky enough to get some funding from L Studio, which is where web therapy started. And we were able to do 6 beautiful profiles: Laverne Cox, Jane Lynch, Tim Gunn, George Takei, Tegan and Sarah. I'm forgetting somebody, but and Jason Collins. And all of them are up live now on lstudio.com. And it's a really beautiful way for each one of them to talk about their childhood, their growing up, their coming out, and the historical context of the gay rights movement and where their personal stories intersected with it. So it's a real passion project for us.
Wonderful. And you know, you mentioned It Gets Better, and you're building on the success of that. So what do you hope to achieve with the web series?
Well, we're hoping to make many, many more profiles of many more people. And hopefully down the line, we've got 40, 50, 60 profiles that can really help and inspire young people, not just to learn that eventually it gets better, but to also learn about how what feels like is an insurmountable obstacle is in fact surmountable if you surround yourself with the right people and you get the support that you need. So more than anything, I'm really hoping that it sort of pays it forward to the next generation and leaves a legacy of stories of those of us who are in our, some people in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, all have different struggles. And if you hear about all of them, you get inspired.
Yeah. You mentioned some of the big names that you've had on the show. Who do you think story has really resonated with people and why?
Wow. I think Laverne Cox is our one transgender story, and it's a really beautiful story about her, what the obstacles were for her mother to understand her, and it comes full circle. It's a great story. Tim Gunn tells a story that goes back as far as the 50s, and then, he was hospitalized for depression right around the time that the American Psychiatric Association declassified homosexuality as a mental illness. So there's a real tentpole in history that intersected with his story. People really resonated with that one. And Tegan and Sarah are 30 years old. They're really young. And so I feel like different people from different generations have sort of tapped into a different profile. But the response has been amazing, and Lisa and I are very proud of it.
Yeah. So you've been really open about being bullied growing up. Do you have any piece of advice that you would give to teenagers who are maybe going through a similar situation?
I have to tell you, it's a terrible thing. I've oftentimes thanked the bullies who made my life miserable when I was in middle school, because they really fueled me to want to prove them wrong. And I think a lot of times learning to push away somebody else's fear and hatred, because it's really their own fear and hatred, to help fuel you to become whoever it is that you're eventually going to become. I mean, I don't think in a million years I imagined I'd one day be playing a gay dad, the husband of the chief of staff on a television show, when I have a husband and kids at home myself. But I think back in 7th grade, I only dreamed that I would be able to prove all the bullies wrong. And rather than letting them win, I let their hatred fuel me to become who I wanted to become.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay, so we have to talk about Scandal, because everyone talks about it. All right, so in your role, you play an openly gay journalist in Washington, and we want to know what kind of response you've gotten for the role.
Well, I got a great response while I was playing the role. I did it for 3 seasons. It was a great opportunity to play not just a husband, but the husband of somebody in politics, and a husband who was dying to adopt and have a baby. The whole idea of having a work marriage in Washington and wanting to have a family, but also being ambitious about their career, all those issues came about, and we just happened to be 2 men. I think that we've grown to a place where you can just have a relationship that is complicated, where one of the many things about you is that you're gay. It's not the only thing about you. So I think that was one of the things that resonated about us. And we were probably, as sick as this sounds, because my husband took out a hit on me, we were the healthiest marriage on the show. Mm-hmm. So until I was, spoiler alert, murdered at the end of last season, we had what was pretty much the only stable relationship on the show. So that speaks a lot about the kind of show we were dealing with.
Cool.
But the response
so we like
has been
to play
amazing.
a little game at Mashable, and it's called 10-second plots. And we ask people from TV shows and big fans to describe a television show in 10 seconds or less. So we want to challenge you to describe Scandal in 10 seconds or less.
I'll time you.
Okay.
All right.
And go.
Explosive, crazy, edgy, soapy, frothy, fraught, sexy, torturous.
Great, that was a really good job.
That's great.
Thank you so much, Dan. We're going to send it over to Brian.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Governor Cuomo. Happy birthday! Article about him and his legislation for the AIDS epidemic. Can you talk a little bit about the initiative?
The
state of New York was ground zero in many ways for the HIV/AIDS epidemic when it first started about 30 years ago, and we've paid a terrible price. So it's only fitting that the state of New York sets the goal and sets a bar saying we have to end the epidemic. We believe we can by 2020. There are new drugs, there's new treatment, and we're going to be very aggressive about not just tolerating the disease, but actually ending the epidemic by 2020. And I'm excited that New York State can start that initiative.
And why is this important for the state of New York, the march?
Well, this march, you know, New York loves its parades and it celebrates the diversity. But 2 years ago, we passed marriage equality in the state of New York that allows all people to get married. And that was a big boost to make it a reality all across the nation. So there's a lot of pride at being New Yorkers at the Pride Parade.
Thanks for your time, Governor. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much,
Brian.
That's great.
Need more tweets.
We do have some more tweets from you. Let's see. And actually, we have a YouTube comment from
YouTube comment.
Munada?
Murata?
I hope it's...
we don't know.
Let's see. Watching from Japan. I went there last year. It's great to see this year's march. Thanks.
Hello,
Very
Japan.
Cool. Hi, Japan. That's great.
Hi. Wow.
That's really cool that this is, you know, really taking off internationally here.
We are international right now.
We're international.
The internet is international, though.
That's true.
It goes in the whole universe.
Let's see. We have one from Manny at Manny Iceland, watching the Pridecast.
From Reykjavik.
Reykjavik, Iceland. We are with you in spirit, in New York.
Thank you.
Aw, thanks.
All right, we're going to throw it to an It Gets Better video right now.
Hi, I'm Jane Lynch.
I'm Tim Gunn.
We're Tegan and Sarah.
I'm Jason Collins.
I'm Laverne Cox.
I'm George Takei, and this is how it got better.
I remember I had a journal, and after I wrote this in the journal, I threw it out. I wrote, I am gay. No one can ever know this.
In sports culture, being gay can be so stressful.
I was very feminine from like my whole life.
It's fun to challenge people's misconceptions about what it is to be gay.
When you have something that you love and are passionate about, explore it.
We realized now we can be both a pop band and we can be a political band. We were like, let's make some change. Like, I want to see this stuff before I'm dead.
Telling the truth to myself about myself is awesome.
It will get better, and I'm the personification of it.
We're back at the march, and I'm here with Darren Young, who's a WWE wrestler who came out last year. Let's see what he has to say. Darren, how does it feel to come out as a gay athlete and now be part of your first march?
It's great, you know, like you said, it's my first march, you know. I was in LA Pride a couple of weeks ago. I'm so happy to be here with my family and friends and support everyone here because my motto is just be you.
You're Mr. Days Off. Mr. No Days Off. There we go.
No days off. I take no days off. I hustle. I'm always on my grind.
So, using that persona, what advice would you give to LGBT youth?
I would like to just tell everyone, LGBT youth, when the time is right to come out, come out. Come out when you feel more comfortable. Have that support system. What helped me out was getting my inner circle of family and friends to really be there for me, and that's what you need, that support system, and then everything else will be okay in life.
What has changed for you since you came out?
Oh, I've been busy, you know. I'm in the process of writing a book to tell my story. I'm heavily involved with GLAAD. I do a lot of anti-bullying speeches. I wanted to stay busy, not only in the ring, but outside of the ring.
Do you and some of the other gay athletes who came out recently hang out together? What do you talk about if you do?
No, I talked to Jason Collins. I haven't met any of the other athletes, but I hope someday we can stand on the stage together and hold our hands up high in victory and just say, just be you, baby.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Darren. Back to you guys.
Hey, guys. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
We have some more tweets for you. This is from @Richard Vengus. Watching a live stream of hashtag NYC Pride is a dream come true. Thanks, at Mashable.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Or else we would be doing this for no one. So we're glad that people are watching.
We're having a really good time here today.
We are. This is so great.
This is really, really fun, and I'm so glad that people around the world can join us for this.
Absolutely.
This is really great.
This is an experience everyone should have. So even if they can do it virtually.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting some music.
All right, and we're gonna go back to Brian. Brian?
Hey guys, we're back on the march, and we're joined with Jacob Rudolph, who last year came out in a YouTube video when he was a senior in high school. Jacob, what has changed in your life since then? Really the visibility that YouTube gave me through my video has enabled me to make media appearances. I got to meet Anderson Cooper, I was doing live interviews, and that really has enabled me to elevate my voice and really stand up for LGBT youth. And why was it important for you to do this as a senior and not maybe later on in life? It felt like at the time was just right, and I was living a life that I couldn't live anymore, and I wasn't going to be in the closet and be afraid of who I am, and I decided to embrace it instead. And you did this all online through YouTube. I guess, what does that platform mean to the community, and what has been your best feedback you got on there from your audience? I think what it means to the community is I view YouTube as a means of social media, and we leverage social media, we leverage our say in the future. So YouTube is an excellent way for people to make their voices heard and to share their opinions. And for me in the future, it just means a career in doing the things that I'm doing now, marching in the parade, standing up for the people that I care about, and representing those that I want to be inspired by. That's great. And what has been the best emotional feedback that you got from a fan or a friend? The YouTube video, when it went viral on YouTube, I got some feedback from individuals who saw it saying that it saved their lives, that they were going to commit suicide until they saw my video. So that meant the world to me. Awesome. Thanks for your time, Jacob. Enjoy your rest of your day. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Brian.
Delta just staged what appears to be Delta the musical.
Yes.
Sung to the tune of Let's Fly Away.
Indeed. All right, let's go. We have another message here from Yellowbird68, and they say to be able to watch the NYC Pride Parade from the UK is just awesome. Thank you, guys. We have a lot of international viewers today.
Very cool.
That's really
Very
cool. We should make a map after this of everywhere that we've gotten messages from.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I think what's great about this is that we're connecting, different parts of the world and bringing communities that would never get the chance to come together here today in New York City.
Absolutely. I mean, imagine 10 years ago, this wouldn't have even been possible.
No, absolutely
and now you
not.
can watch the NYC Pride March from wherever you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Who's this? We have... Oh, the NYFD. NYFD. Yes, New York Fire Department. You can see the fire engines coming down 5th Avenue. Toss it down to Natalie Joy Johnson. She's down in the Village.
Natalie is a cast member for the Broadway musical Kinky Boots. And she's down in the Village.
Yeah, I hope that we can see her. All right, well, we'll get her eventually.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll just keep watching the parade, the march.
She's warming up.
She is.
I hear Broadway people do that.
Yes.
Fun
fact, marching band, yes.
If you want to be a New York City police officer, you must know how to play an instrument.
I don't think I don't think that's a true fact. I think it helps.
Well, if you want to march in the march here.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you
All right. I think Natalie Joy Johnson is ready in the village. Natalie, are you there?
Big members placed an ad in the Village Voice and held the first meeting in a living room over 25 years ago. Honey, the sirens have been in the Pride Parade over the years by independent riders and clubs near and far. Hello, ladies! Happy Pride!
And performing the top 40 hit when the Saints go marching in.
Was that a top 40 hit?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, okay. Maybe there could be a remix, like by Rihanna.
Yeah, I think we can get Rihanna to remix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we have the NYPD walking by, who we have to wave to.
Have we gotten any hashtag woos yet?
I don't know. I can't see our woo feed. We'll have our social media team let us know how our hashtag woo campaign is going.
That's woo with 10 O's?
10 O's. But don't forget hashtag Pridecast too, so we see
Well,
both.
we wouldn't see it if you don't do hashtag Pridecast, we won't see your hashtag woo.
We won't. Yeah, I guess we want to know what people are wooing about today.
That's true. Don't forget to put what you're wooing at when you use your hashtag woo, hashtag Pridecast.
Photographs welcome.
Yep.
Woo photographs.
You could be wooing in your living rooms right now, at your dogs or cats or your pets. Yeah.
Or your friends, maybe.
Or your friends.
You're just wooing friends.
That's right.
Oh, we have some horses trotting on by in the march.
Horses have been a longtime ally of the LGBT community.
I think you're just making up facts.
I think I just made up another fact.
Yes. But they probably are. What do you think those horses' names are?
I think the one on the left is Herbert.
And the one on the right is Clyde.
Clyde with a D?
Yes.
Clyde.
And then I think we have...
Back left is Nancy.
Oh, yes. And Shira.
What?
Shira.
Shira, yes. Yes.
So Clyde, Herbert, Nancy, and Shira. Those are the horses' names. In case you were wondering at home. Some YouTube comments. Paige Britton says, "We were born to shine and sparkle. Don't ever let the world tell you who you are, and be real with a heart." Thank you so much, Paige.
I think we're keeping it real today.
I think we're shining and sparkling too.
Well, you know, yeah, I'm sweating, so I am sparkling and shining as well. But
that's a true fact.
And we have a YouTube comment from Irene Cho. Watching from South Korea. It's 2 a.m. here. I wish I'd be there right now. Okay, Irene, you really need to go to bed.
No, stay up and watch.
Oh yeah, well,
What else are you going to do at 2 a.m.?
I'm not, well, I guess you don't have work tomorrow, right? Maybe you do.
But it's worth it.
So stay up for a little bit.
Yes. We encourage all of our international viewers to not get any sleep tonight. Even if you're in Canada, just stay up all night. What kind of questions could we ask our YouTube users?
Hey, why don't you guys send us your proudest moments from the past year? It can be related to the LGBT community, things that you have done to further human rights, or maybe you just did something nice for somebody. Send us your proudest moment from the past year.
Leave it in our YouTube comments so that
Leave
we
it in
can
our
see
YouTube
it.
comments, yeah.
What's your proudest moment this year?
What's my proudest moment from this year?
It could be right now.
I mean,
this is pretty amazing.
Yeah, this is really nice. I'm very proud to be here. I have to think about that. What's yours?
I don't know. Talking to Fred Sargent was such an honor.
Talking to Fred Sargent was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think that I'm proud of you know, the small things that I've done to further, you know, human rights and to make sure that everybody is treated equally. It's kind of vague, but
that's where you start. Fred Sargent said you can start with something as small as being nice to someone every day.
That's right. That's right.
So we can do that.
That's true.
All right, who do we have coming down Fifth Avenue now? It's a large float. I think I see the Chrysler building on it.
Yeah.
Let's go, Kills!
We're having free products thrown at us right now.
We just got some swag. Kills just threw some swag at us.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to go to a hangout on air with Jordan Scruggs, who's a big fan of Everyone is Gay, who's going to be joining us in just a moment, and also an LGBT activist based in Tennessee. Hey, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
How's it going?
Going great. Very good.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's very loud here, so we hope that you can hear us.
Happy Gay Pride.
Happy Pride.
Yes, happy Pride, yes.
Wow. So you're both an activist, both locally in Tennessee and across the country. How have you seen LGBT youth come together online?
I've seen it all over the place through Google Hangouts, on Tumblr, and it's amazing to watch so many people connect through the internet in different ways. It's fantastic.
And you know, we're talking a lot about marriage equality, and it's an immensely important topic in the United States right now. So what do you hope to happen across the country in the years to come?
I hope that everyone just finally realizes that what we're here for is not to cause a store, but to just love it. We don't want to cause any problems. We just want to love who we want to love. It's pretty amazing just to see the progress we've made in just a little while that I've been an activist for the past 5 or 6 years or so. It's just been amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about your activism and what you've been up to?
Oh, yeah, certainly. I've been creating a LGBT inclusive directory for churches in the state of Tennessee so that people can worship peacefully and they can love themselves and just really understand that their faith is important and that loving themselves is important. They shouldn't have to choose between loving themselves or their creator. That's my biggest project.
That's
Jordan,
great.
Can I ask, what is your one piece of advice for LGBT youth or allies that want to become involved with activism and helping further the movement?
I would tell them to look around where they are. Where are you based? Like, what do you want to see happen in your community? What would you have needed growing up? Or what do people need in your area that you know of? And just start your own movement. If there's no large, if there's no national organization, start your own. Start with your friends. Do something that's important and close to your heart. Just go out and do it.
Absolutely. That's what we're talking about, starting small and really building out from there.
Yep.
All right, Jordan, now we're joined by Kristen Russo and Danielle Owens-Reed, the founders and stars of Everyone is Gay. Can you guys tell us a little bit about Everyone is Gay?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we started as an advice site for LGBTQ youth, and through working with them, we realized that their parents needed a lot of answers to questions. We started touring schools and talking to parents, and we have a book that comes out this fall that's advice for parents whose kids have just come out to them.
That's amazing.
Yes, we were actually going to ask you about your book. So can you tell us more about it and kind of what it's about?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a question and answer, basically, so it's advice-based, but we also include stories from parents and youth in each chapter.
That's great. All right, so your organization hits right at the intersection of activism and social media. So how has your digital focus helped you guys connect with fans?
Our digital focus in connecting with fans has done a couple of things, because people who are anonymous on the internet, they finally get a chance to ask questions that they otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what do you think the difference is working with LGBT parents or parents of LGBT children as opposed to LGBT children and youth directly?
You know, I think that young people know the internet much more. They know that space, and so Everyone is Gay really occupies that for them, where with parents, I think that it's amazing that they have this new digital resource with the Parents Project, but I think parents look elsewhere. They look for books, they look for like physical materials, and they also look for like group meetings and things like that, so I think it's important to expand out farther for parents.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have any advice for LGBT youth that might be watching today that don't have a community of support around them?
I think the internet has become a very powerful tool. I think in a lot of cases it's done a lot of bad because it's easier to bully, but it's also done a lot of good because there are so many resources and so many stories of youth who are in the position that you're currently in that you can find super easily.
I think Jordan might have a question for you guys, if we can go back to her. Jordan, are you still there? All right, we may have lost Jordan. But that's okay. So Armand and I were hanging out on your website.
Yep.
And this is going to sound a little silly, but we saw an article titled 8 Ways to Celebrate Pride with Your Cat. Okay, so 1, can you tell us about that? And 2, how are your cats celebrating today?
Well, it was inspired because we like to dress up our cats.
Of course.
As most cat owners do.
As most cat owners do, and they don't really appreciate it.
Nope.
So we wanted to get real. And then our cats today, I mean, my cat Janet is probably screaming at home in LA.
Yeah, my cat Trey is definitely asleep, taking up as much of my bed as possible right now while I'm here at Pride.
That happens.
How did they celebrate LA Pride?
I don't know. Janet is based in LA.
Yep,
Danielle's
Janet
cat.
is based in LA.
Janet's
She
cat
wanted to make
based
the
in LA.
move, and I decided I would go with her. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Trey missed LA Pride. I think that he slept right through it. He sleeps through most of them, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We try to get them involved at every turn. But.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you guys so much for joining
Yeah,
us. We're
thank
going to
you.
toss it over to our colleague Sam, who's on the Google Float.
Yeah.
Oh, great, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
guys.
you.
Hi guys, I know you have a very cushy setup down in the Flatiron District, but I have to say we might have you beat right here on the Google Float uptown. The energy around us is just amazing. I've been coming to these events over the years, and I have to say every year it gets bigger, better, more colorful, louder, and it's just very exciting. And so we're going to give you a bird's eye view of everything that's happening up here. So we'll kick it back to you for now.
All right. And I don't think we have Sam just yet.
She is on a float, so she's moving.
She's mobile.
Yes.
All right.
They were really fun.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was really interesting that their cats just slept right through Pride. You'd think
I know.
they would dress them up in some cool Pride outfits and take them out.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I learned a little something, though, about how my cat can celebrate Pride. Or my 3 cats. I shouldn't admit that.
Do you want to give a shout out to your cats?
Hello, Tofu, Gertie, and Beans.
All right.
Celebrating Pride in my Lower East Side apartment right now.
We've got some more comments and tweets from you guys. This is from Adam. I'm watching the NYC Pride March from New Zealand. Even though it's 5 a.m., but it's so worth it. Wow, you guys are
5
not getting any sleep tonight. But that's really cool. Thank you so much. Yes. Adam, I hope you don't have to get up early for work tomorrow, so you can stay up and watch the rest of this.
Yeah, please keep watching. Just watch this right through until you have to go to work. It's fine. It'll be great.
Oh, and I think we got a woo. We have a woo.
Oh, we have a hashtag woo.
From Greg Orsini.
Okay.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Woo, my brother is in the march for Delta. So proud. Delta just came by.
They just
so
walked by.
We just missed them.
They were very friendly. They tried to recruit us to be in the march. And we said, well, no, we're live on the internet, so we can't leave right now. But maybe we'll see him after.
Maybe we'll try to catch up to the Delta float after we're done here. But, well, I guess we'll give a woo to Greg's brother. Greg's brother!
Woo!
Woo! And let's see.
What else do we have here?
We have one from
Aaron Moore.
Aaron Moore.
Proudest moment of this year was definitely coming out to my family and friends.
Oh
Congrats,
my God.
Aaron.
Aaron.
That's huge. That's a big thing
yes,
this
that
year.
is something to be very proud of.
Absolutely.
Let's see. From Rose, proudest moment this year from Boulder, Colorado.
Hello, Boulder, Colorado.
Hey, Boulder. City clerks issue marriage licenses. We came a long way, baby. Yes, congratulations,
Congrats.
Rose. I'm gonna give you a woo, Rose.
Ready?
And in general, Boulder.
All right, we're gonna go to Brian Sims. Representative Sims, can you hear
I
me?
sure can, guys. You look like you're having a great time.
We are having a great time. It's a little loud. So, Representative Sims, you have a pretty impressive list of accomplishments. I have them on my card, so I'm gonna read them and embarrass you a little bit, okay?
Go to it.
A policy attorney, a civil rights advocate, the first out LGBT member of the Pennsylvania General Assembly, and a college football champion. That deserves a woo. Woo! Woo, Mr. Sims, thank you so much for joining us. Happy Pride.
Thank you guys for having me. Really, thank you for having me. I've been at New York Pride a couple of times, and I know how crazy it can get.
Wonderful. So how do you think community leaders can help empower our LGBT youth?
That's an easy one. I think that one of the things that we haven't seen enough of in the LGBT community, and we're just starting to see, is the difference between being a mentor and being a sponsor. It's one thing to identify LGBT leadership. It's one thing to help train them. It's a whole other thing to sort of help get them engaged, to bring them into our offices, to bring them into our workplaces, to get them involved in our organizations. We are going to train the next group of LGBT leadership, and I think we're starting to do a better job of that.
Awesome. All right, so what barriers do you think members of the LGBT community still face when entering politics?
I was involved for years with the National Gay and Lesbian Victory Fund, which has really studied what electing out people can do for any sort of electoral body. And we know that electing out people really has a very tangible impact on civil rights. And I think a lot of out people are afraid that if they run, it's going to be about their sexuality, or that their sexuality shouldn't matter. And I can tell you in my case, I think that it did matter. Pennsylvania needed to elect somebody that was out and proud because, frankly, our laws didn't reflect the wonderful LGBT population that we had. So I think when people are deciding to run, it's going to be a scary thing to sort of put your life on the line. Hopefully in 20, 30, 40 years, a person's sexuality won't matter any more than their family or their nationality. But right now it does matter, and I think that can scare a lot of people away from running. But I hope that it doesn't.
Great. And have you noticed any changes in welcoming of LGBT members into elected office?
Oh, absolutely. We knew in the 2000 census, we knew 14 years ago that LGBT people were in 99.8% of counties in the United States. Everybody in America knows somebody that's LGBT, and I think, for me, joining the legislature here, I wasn't the first out person that any of my colleagues had ever known. Maybe that they'd ever worked with in that capacity, but there are out people everywhere in all jobs and in all facets in the country. Absolutely.
Cool. And do you have any advice for aspiring LGBT politicos?
Darn right. Nonprofit and public interest organizations. There are 31 equality organizations, statewide equality organizations. There are LGBT centers, LGBT advocacy groups all over the country that really need people to get involved, to get engaged. You know, yeah, we've seen a lot of movement with respect to marriage, for example, across the country, but there are states just like mine that still lack the most basic civil rights. The best way to get involved is find those local nonprofits in your town and your city and your municipality and get engaged. It's not just about showing up and protesting, which it is. It's also about making sure that you're letting your local elected officials know how they can help you, making sure that you're letting your town and your community know that you have a presence.
And how do you see LGBT issues kind of evolving in politics? What can we look forward to?
I think we can look forward to a lot more of what Hillary Clinton identified 2 years ago when she said that LGBT rights are human rights. The rest of the world looks at LGBT civil rights as human rights, and we're just beginning to see that here in the United States. You know, the advancement we've made in LGBT civil rights over the last decade or so has been in large part because finally we have our allies contributing at full force for us. And I think that's in recognition of the fact that our civil rights are indeed human rights.
Great. And how are you celebrating Pride today? It looks like you're on a white wall.
You know what? I'm having the worst Pride celebration of anybody I know, and I'm actually going to be in my capital voting on a budget. We're required to have a budget passed by the end of the month, and I'm going to be on the House floor in a couple of hours, maybe arguing through the night about how we can sort of best fund Pennsylvania.
And Brian, one last question. Any advice for the gentlemen out there that are trying to maintain a nice beard?
Yeah, I appreciate that. The hard questions, I appreciate that. This is my first professional beard, and the advice I got from everybody was keep your neckline trimmed and use conditioner on it. And so far, so good.
Awesome.
That's solid advice.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Try that.
Do you have a message for everyone here in NYC today?
I just want to make sure that everybody remembers that, what Pride really is, and it's not just a celebration, it's about solidarity. Yesterday was the 45th anniversary of Stonewall, and if we've learned anything in the last 45 years, it's that when we are out, when we are loud, and when we are indeed proud, we're at our best and we're treated our best. And so, take full advantage of this time, but I hope it inspires people for a year of Pride.
Great, go out and do something fun today.
Yeah, go have fun.
Go do something.
I'm gonna try.
And please tell everyone in Pennsylvania, every single person, everyone, happy Pride from New York.
I can do that, and I'm happy to, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Oh, no, we're going to keep going. Do you want...
Oh, there we go. We do have some more tweets from you guys and some more messages here. So this is from Daniel Leva. I got married last year to the love of my life. That is my proudest moment ever.
That's huge. Congrats.
We're giving you a woo.
Woo!
And from JPPX31.
I am proud that gay marriage is finally legal in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Also deserves, and we just had Brian Sims, who is also from Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Yeah. Good job, Pennsylvania.
Good job, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, you get a woo. Woo! Let's see what's happening on the March route.
Oh, it looks like we have a color guard coming down 5th Avenue. That's impressive. Being able to throw those flags in the air, that's not easy.
Yeah, I've never been good at color guard.
I tried. I was not good at it either.
That's why I'm on YouTube and not marching.
Yes,
with
we're
the color
not
guard.
throwing anything today. We're getting some Kesha now. We don't know if you can hear that at home, but you could just play Kesha and you can hear what we're hearing and dance along.
Yeah, I think if you sync it up just right, it'll be like you're actually here.
Yes. a close-up on the color guard, so maybe we could learn some techniques. Next year, we do color guards.
What's that?
Next year, we're going to do color guards. Yeah.
We can try.
We can try.
And we have a Twitter user.
Letitia Miller says she's watching from bed in New Jersey. Woo! We got another woo.
We got a woo,
We're
yeah.
racking up the woos. And she says, happy Pride, and you two are doing a fantastic job.
Well, thank you.
That is very nice.
That's very nice of you to say.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
She sounds very comfortable. All right, we're going to toss it over to Brian. Hey, Brian.
No pressure. Hi, we're back at the march. This is group 2 of the entire parade, and we're here with Suzanne from PFLAG. For people who may not know, what does that acronym mean?
PFLAG stands for Parents, Families, and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, and we're PFLAG New York City, the founding chapter of a 500 chapter organization. And we basically provide support for families, and we have a massive schools program where we go in and with parents and LGBT people and share our family stories with kids. They've usually never heard anything like it, and it's tremendously, it opens their minds and helps reduce bullying.
And do you have any celebrity supporters that help out or are part of the organization?
Any what? I'm sorry?
Celebrity supporters? Or
We do. We have a celebrity campaign called Stay Close, and we've worked with Cyndi Lauper, Rosario Dawson, Audra McDonald, and others. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for your time. I'll let you catch up to your group and throw it back to you guys. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
And
we have PFLAG coming down.
PFLAG, yeah.
Great organization.
Don't forget to send us your messages using the hashtag Pridecast. And if you
have questions for us, we're happy to answer them too.
Well, yeah, we'd be happy to answer your questions, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you can use the hashtag Woo with 10 O's.
And hashtag Pridecast.
And send us with hashtag Pridecast to let us know what you're going to woo today. And
we ask for messages and YouTube comments, and they just appear. Magically on our desk. So we're going to go through some more right now from Kelly Grover, which is the name also of a Muppet, which I love. Kelly Grover.
Maybe they're related.
Maybe they are. Meeting and hugging Edie Windsor in Asbury Park. And after seeing a special showing of Edie and Thea, a very long engagement. Amazing.
Hashtag amazing.
That is.
Yes, it is. Very good. Thank you, Kelly Grover.
Thank you, Kelly Grover.
And give Muppet Grover our regards.
Please do. And Edie.
And Edie, yes.
Brian got to meet Edie, but we did not. But maybe she'll come back over.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. She's probably busy.
She'll probably hop by later.
Yeah. Oh, we have some steppers. Another impressive thing that we can't do. I think this requires more coordination than I possess. I don't want to speak for you.
I think I would just fall over.
Yeah. We just saw a cartwheel. We witnessed a cartwheel on the march.
A cartwheel split.
Ooh, yes. We're also witnessing a lot of selfies. Yeah. Everyone wants to take a selfie.
I think people should send us their selfies.
Ooh, yes.
I don't know how we would show them, but
we want to see them.
We want to see them.
We want to see your Pridecast selfie.
Yeah.
Take a photo with your computer.
Watching us.
Watching us.
It'll be super meta.
Super meta. And then we can save them and put them in a photo album.
Hi. Hi.
How are you?
My name is Armand.
Nice to meet you. I'm Clem.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Annie.
Hey, Annie. I'm Clem. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Looks like we have some people on Hangout, too.
My name is Clem. Yeah, Clement.
Okay.
I'm an attorney at Immigration Equality. We work against LGBT deportations.
Sure. And
sure. That's Vlad. I don't know that there's somebody named Vlad here though, but yeah. Okay. Is that person joining?
All right, so I'm here with Clement Lee. He's a staff attorney of Immigration Equality. Thank you for joining us today. How's your day going?
Thank you so much. So wonderful.
Yeah.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Yes, yes. First of all, what are you doing today? What are your plans?
So I am marching. This is about my 15th or 16th Pride Parade. It's really great. I work at Immigration Equality where we meet new immigrants, and one of my favorite experiences is meeting folks in immigration detention. Having folks from my organization be able to represent them in asylum claims, and then they get out, and then instead of seeing them in jumpsuits, I see them in rainbow flags. I see them in their own clothing. I get them to see, for the first time, they get a chance to be LGBT and free and out and proud for the first time. So it's such an honor for me to be in this 15th parade.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anybody that you've worked with recently that is either marching or here today?
Yeah, so we are a national nonprofit organization that provides free legal services to LGBT immigrants all across the United States that are seeking asylum because they have been persecuted in their home countries. Our float has all different types of people. We have lawyers, we have people in binational couples, we have people who are seeking asylum. Great. And we have folks that are, for the first time, going to be able to get married and get their green cards through their same-sex spouses. So it really feels like we're participating in history. It's such an honor, you know, to be an attorney. You're in a courtroom for most of the time, but every once in a while you get to do something like this parade, which I love.
And is there anybody in particular that you've helped recently or in the past year or so that has really kind of stuck with you, that you really that really kind of encompasses your cause?
Absolutely. So in 77 countries across the world, being LGBT is a crime. More and more, we're seeing folks fleeing those countries. We've had a great number of activists, especially, you know, in Russia, where there's been so much press because of the Olympics, where people who are LGBT are being beaten up, are simply not allowed to be who they are. It's too dangerous. We've been able to represent and win asylum for more Russian asylum seekers this year than ever before. They're simply not safe there. They've been coming here, and we've been able to represent them, so it makes me feel really proud to march amongst my LGBT brothers and sisters from across the world.
Sure. And is there, what is your proudest moment of the past year?
In the past year has been really, really historic. I remember that about almost 1 year ago when the Windsor decision came down, striking down the Defense of Marriage Act, my colleagues were literally able to go to court and say, Your Honor, you need to close this case. We weren't able to get green cards before, we are able to get them before. And it's just been one other option for LGBT folks in terms of equality. And my favorite personal moment is when my clients are no longer in immigration detention, they're no longer in solitary confinement because they're transgender, and immigration finds that it's not safe to house them there. They're out and free and proud and living their life. As a country that has strong humanitarian principles of welcoming LGBT folks, of welcoming people who are refugees, I really think that 2014 is the time where we really need to make sure that LGBT equality includes immigrants.
Very great. All right, so I think we're going to go to the Grand Marshal now. So.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Thank you so much.
Go do it.
Hello, my Google, YouTube, Mashable friends. I'm Natalie Joy Johnson, and I am here with the one and only Miss Laverne Cox and Miss Dolores Nettles. Laverne, Dolores, you both, first of all, look gorgeous today. Are you having fun? Are you feeling prideful?
I feel amazing. I feel like I moved to New York City. I moved to New York City 21 years ago, and I remember being at this parade when I first moved here, and it feels amazing to be the Grand Marshal.
I mean, the cover of Time, Orange is the New Black, Grand Marshal, Realness, honey. You're amazing. I'm such a fan. I love the show. I mean, how has your life changed in the past few years?
It's pretty amazing, but I feel really amazed and honored to be standing here with Dolores Nettles. Dolores Nettles is the mother of Elon Nettles, a young trans woman, African-American trans woman who on August of last year was murdered here in the streets of New York, and there is yet to be an arrest for the murder of Elon Nettles. And so I wanted Dolores to stand with me today and to ride with me today to remind people that there needs to be justice for her daughter and that trans lives matter.
I love that you both rode together today in the parade, looking gorgeous, and we're so glad that you're here with us, Dolores. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
I would love some justice for Islam and make an Islam's law for all transgender.
Thank you so much. Trans lives do matter. We're so happy to be here with Miss Laverne Cox and Miss Dolores Nettles. Can't wait to see what's coming up next for you, girl.
I can't wait either. Thank you so much. Happy Pride. You look amazing.
Thank you, as do you. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, so we're here with the folks from Proud to Play, but first we're going to take a look at a quick video.
Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does.
Jason Collins is the first male player from a major team sport to announce that he is gay.
I'm dating a guy, and I couldn't be happier.
I'm Michael Sam. I'm a football player, and I'm gay.
Robbie Rogers now breaking yet another barrier.
All the support has been overwhelming.
Because of you, there's a little boy playing basketball right now who knows that he can be who he is and play the sport that he loves.
When you look back on these years, you will see a time in which we put a stop to discrimination against gays and lesbians.
You have to be brave to step forward and declare to the rest of the world, this is who I am.
Dentro do campo, não existe espaço para o preconceito e discriminação. Somente a arte de jogar.
Live your life the way you want to live.
Não importa quem você ama, o que importa é fazer gol.
Being gay in sports doesn't change the way you play the game.
Sport unites us.
Let's support a world where every athlete
can be proud of who they are.
It's important to be proud to play.
Jogue com orgulho.
I'm proud to play.
Jogue com orgulho. Jogue com orgulho.
I'm proud to play. Jogue com orgulho.
This is the biggest moment in sports. It's our time to make a difference and show the world that every athlete can be proud to play.
Sport can create hope where once there was only despair.
All right, we're here with Sid Ziegler, writer in the field about sexuality in sports, and Maya Register, a current rising senior and basketball star at Farley Dickinson University. Thanks, guys.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Thanks for having me.
Happy Pride.
How's everyone doing today?
Doing well.
Wishing I was at a parade in New York City.
Yeah, it's really crazy out here. Lots of energy, so we're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a prominent year for LGBT folks in sports, starting with the scrutiny towards LGBT rights as a consequence at the Sochi Winter Games, and culminating more recently with Michael Sam's draft with the St. Louis Rams. How do you think big wins like Michael Sam's can help trickle down to LGBT athletes in schools across the country?
I guess I'll take that question.
We'll start with you, Sid.
Well, for me, these things are huge, you know, and obviously every athlete who comes out inspires somebody else to do so. But, you know, I still look at, you know, what Maya goes through or has gone through with her experiences. And why, you know, right now on ESPN, they are broadcasting gay slurs during the World Cup. So all these things are great, but there's still so much work to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maya, you know, with you being on a team in school, how have you seen that sort of trickle down for you?
I think that at a lot of different programs now, people are more conscious of what's going on because it's in the news, it's on ESPN and Good Morning America, and people like that are talking about these kind of issues. But like Sis said, there's definitely a lot more room for growth in education because a lot of people still use the language that is still exclusive of LGBTQ athletes in locker rooms, on the court, coaches, administrators, and a lot of people still do it. So.
Totally. I'm going to go back to you, Sid. So you're a co-founder of Outsports.com, the world's leading gay sports publication. What else can we be doing to get the word out there for gay athletes?
I think spreading the coming out stories are so important because almost every single time when somebody comes out publicly, their team and their teammates to support them. So I think that, you know, particularly in the media, and whether you're on social media, Facebook, you know, sending out the stories that we do at Outsports, places like Go Athletes, and where Maya originally told her story, and You Can Play, and all these other places that are really trying to work toward ending anti-LGBT bias in sports. Just sharing the stories that we're telling is, I think, super important.
And how do you think that the sports community can get involved?
The sports community? Well, there's certainly lots of LGBT sports groups. They're marching in the parade behind you, from flag football to basketball and dodgeball. On a bigger level, the NFL, the WNBA is in the middle of a huge pride campaign right now. The NCAA has an Office of Inclusion that focuses on this. So a lot of the big players in sports are getting involved, which is great.
Great. And going back to Maya for a second, can you tell us about your experience of being on a team and being out? Has your team been there for you? How did they react, and how's it been for you?
I think for me, my story is a little intricate because at the first school I was at, it wasn't a welcoming environment at all. I was in the South, not too far south. I was in Virginia, but I sort of came out because I was dating a teammate, and people didn't know how to react to that. Although these things happen all the time, it was a huge issue because of my gender identity and expression. And, you know, I think that they expected one thing from me, but they got another. So those intersections of my identity, my race, my gender, and my sexuality all kind of played a role into the neglect and the discrimination that I experienced. But when I transferred to Fairleigh Dickinson, the experience sexuality wasn't a question. It was just like, okay, you know, you're gay, you know, your gender identity is not conforming, who cares? You know, you're good, we want you. So that was never even a question. I mean, it could be the area because I was in the South, but that's no excuse for ignorance or homosexuality, homophobia or racism or anything like that.
Yeah. Maya, you shared a really touching story about coming out on goathletes.org. Can you share a little bit with us about that?
Well, for me, it was interesting because before I even got on campus, I was dating one of my future teammates. Who I knew her for a long time. We're actually engaged now. So we were dating prior to me going there, and one of my coaches called my mom and said, "Hey, your daughter's gay," and they said, "You need to break up with your girlfriend at the time, and you all need to figure something out, or else your scholarships are getting pulled." So that was like an ultimatum, and we kind of tried to hide it after that because at that point I was like, "No, I'm not doing that. Like, that's like, you know, me asking you to divorce your husband. That's not fair. There's other people having a relationship on the side." So I feel like I was singled out also because of that intersection of my identity, my gender expression, my race. And then when I got down there, it was just not a good experience at all. And I was doing really well in my sport. I was starting, I was playing a lot of minutes. I looked like I was in great shape, but emotionally I was depressed and I was just sick. So when I transferred, I really didn't have family support, financial support, so I ended up coming to FCU. I did well for a little while, but I don't play anymore because I don't have that financial support, so I had to work. So now life is kind of starting for me a little bit earlier than I planned, but I think it all happened for a reason. Like I said, my girlfriend at the time was my teammate and not my fiance, so we're happy. And, we do a lot of activism for the reasons of our stories. So I think that, all these things kind of just molded me into who I am today.
That's great. Great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you
guys for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Wish I was there dancing with you.
So,
I wish I was there. She's not in the
over
booth
to Sam.
On the Google float.
On the Google float.
She's still on there.
Sam?
That's a good.
Hi everyone, the route is yet to take off for us here on the Google float, but we're joined with all the Googlers. If we can hear a little love for everyone here. Everyone's excited. There's a DJ in the back and the pride flags are flying. And in the front we have here the Android mascot, of course. And the theme for today is really cool. It's called Proud to Play, which basically represents, it's a YouTube campaign of all athletes supporting the LGBT community. So it's a really good cause. And Google is participating, and not just here in New York, but in a bunch of different cities today, in San Francisco, Chicago, overseas in London. And they're not just the only tech company too. Apple and Facebook has a presence too. So it's really exciting to see everybody kind of come together. And we're getting ready to embark soon, so we'll be giving you more updates in just a little bit.
And I got some swag, but in our last segment.
The lights are bright.
You did get swag.
All right, so we're gonna go to Brian. And Brian,
how's it
going
out
And
there?
Jerry Nadler, and he's a congressman for the 10th District of New York. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Let's talk about that LGBT rights bipartisan letter you wrote. What was it about and why was it important?
Well, under the Windsor decision of the Supreme Court, it declared unconstitutional the portion of the Defense of Marriage Act that said the federal government couldn't recognize marriage for federal purposes. So the federal government will now recognize marriage for federal purposes, but the question arises in many different statutes, none of which were written with this in mind, were written 50 years ago, Social Security, etc. Some of them say that we'll recognize a gay right, a right. Okay.
Sorry about that, really loud here.
We'll recognize a right based on whether your marriage was legal in the state where you did it. Others say in the state where you live, and most statutes are silent. So we urge the administration to use its discretion to recognize the rights of gay couples who are married legally in a state that recognizes gay marriage, no matter where they live, based on the state in which the marriage occurred. And the administration has now said that that's exactly what they'll do, except in instances such as Social Security and veterans' rights, where there's no discretion because the statute says based on the state where you live. So we're urging, and the president just urged, that the Respect for Marriage Act that I introduced 5 years ago be passed. That would repeal the rest of DOMA and would recognize federal rights based on the legality of the marriage in the state where you did it, not where you happen to live.
We talked to Edie Windsor earlier, who's been a great advocate in the community, but so have you. You've been walking this march for a very long time. Tell us about how long and why you keep being part of it.
I'm sorry, how long I've been marching? I've been marching at least 25 or more years.
25 years of marching. Well, we're going to thank
I've been marching at least 25 or more years. I haven't missed a parade since when I was in the State Assembly. I think since it started. And I marched because gay and lesbian and transgender people are the class people for whom it is still, in many ways, legal to discriminate. You can't discriminate on the basis of race or color or creed, but in most states you can still discriminate on the basis of gender or gender expression, and that's simply wrong. And I introduced legislation to recognize the ability of gay people to sponsor their partners for immigration. The Supreme Court decision took care of that. I introduced legislation to repeal the Defense of Marriage Act. The Supreme Court took care of part of that. We're trying to get the rest of it done now. It's just fundamentally unfair, and I think people are finally recognizing that.
Well, the people appreciate your support, and thanks for taking time out to chat with Google and Mashable. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm here with co-founder or founder of the popular app Scruff, Johnny Scruff.
Hello, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy Pride. I mean, I'm full of glitter.
Yeah?
Yeah, I hugged some queen over there, and she just spilled glitter all over me. So
that happens.
It's Pride.
That's Pride. That's what it's for.
It kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So first of all, yes, Happy Pride. Welcome. We've heard that a lot of apps like Scruff have been used to sort of mobilize gay people, and they haven't just been used for dating. It's been a tool for people to kind of come together. How do you feel about that, and how do you feel that your app's being used to sort of bring groups together that wouldn't normally be able to find each other?
Yeah, I mean, so like you said, social apps are a great way to mobilize people, and especially community, the gay community, which is very passionate about issues such as gay marriage or health. You know, we have over 6.2 million members, so to have that kind of access and that community is very important and a responsibility, because we can educate through Scruff, and many other apps I know do as well. Some apps push more politics. We're going to be doing some health campaigns. We also have, which I'm really excited to talk about, we are giving free ad space to all nonprofits that benefit the LGBT community.
Oh, wow.
It's called Benevolent Ads, and that will be launching within the next couple months. And that's just a way for us to give back. And through Benevolent Ads, health organizations can run banner ads on Scruff. You name it. So, you know, this really is an amazing, powerful tool, Scruff and other apps like it.
And in what other ways has Scruff as a company helped either with LGBT activism or with LGBT charities in the past year?
Well, so charities email us, and you know, we always refer them and talk to them about what we can provide them right now, which isn't much. We've given cash donations, but we've told them all about Benevolent Ads, and that's really going to be an amazing tool for all these charities and nonprofits, and they can keep track of how much Scruff has donated to them. Yeah, it's just really, really exciting.
Cool.
But it's something, you know, I feel very strong about anti-bullying. I was bullied growing up as a gay youth, and I think many of us were, and so that's something that hits really home to me. So one organization which I love is Ben Cohen's Stand Up Foundation. So we may be working with them.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exciting.
Scruff recently released a gay slang website.
Yes.
And it's actually, you have international translations for all of the slang terms.
Yes.
So Annie and I created our own gay slang terms.
Oh my God.
And we're going to ask you to try and define them, okay?
Yeah, we don't have definitions, so you can make up anything you want.
This is new. You're
but we want to see it in there.
groundbreaking.
We want to see it in there.
You are breaking these terms to the world right now. So
okay, so these are slang terms.
Okay, so gay slang terms. So the first one is pugs.
Pugs. And no, wait, where that would come from? What that would come from? Where?
I guess I'm not sure what the etymology of pugs is, but the I guess the regular term would be like a small dog.
It's like a little puppy.
Like a little puppy.
Because we do have puppy in the gay community.
Okay, we do have puppy.
We have
in the
puppy.
gay community.
Oh yeah, pup and puppy.
So what would pug be?
What would pug be?
Yeah.
I guess it would be someone 4 feet tall, who's like really cute, and like a cute smile.
Okay.
I think we've made history here.
Who's gay?
yeah.
Or trans man.
Yeah. Cool. And then the last one, treasure trolls.
Treasure trolls. So what kind of person would it describe that kind of person?
Well, what kind of gay?
A treasure troll. Maybe someone who's into like treasure trails.
Okay.
So you're like, girl, I only like you if you have a treasure trail. Go, because everyone knows what a treasure. You guys know what a treasure trail is, right?
Treasure trail,
like,
right.
Right down the front.
Right.
Or then there's the unhappy trail.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go, treasure troll.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Thank
Happy
you so
Pride.
much for joining us.
Yeah,
Happy
thank you.
Pride.
Thank you. Happy Pride.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna go to Ann Curry now.
Yeah, in a hangout.
Yeah,
She's
in a
joining
Google
us
Hangout.
from LA.
So.
Hey, Ann.
Hi, everybody. I'm at Google Plus headquarters, and it's a pleasure to join you.
Very cool. So obviously this is Ann Curry. Everyone knows Ann Curry.
Hi, Ann.
Yeah. We're going to roll a short clip of your interview with Archbishop Desmond Tutu, where he discussed the gay rights movement.
You say it is the new apartheid?
I said yes for me.
Why choose this issue?
I didn't choose it, it chose me. It's not a choice. I mean, you don't say, I choose to be white or I choose to be, it's a given. You don't choose your sexual orientation.
So in your interview, Desmond Tutu described the oppression of gays as the new apartheid. So what was your reaction to that big statement?
Well, it's a very big statement, and he also said this at the same time during our interview, in which he said that if he gets to heaven and God is homophobic, then he will ask God to send him to hell, because he does not want to live in a homophobic heaven. And he made these statements, and I should probably mention, he made these statements inside of a church, the same church where he initiated his call against apartheid decades ago. You know, he made these statements essentially in a climate in South Africa that is very dangerous for gay people. People who are gay have been attacked with what's called corrective rape, trying to sort of convince men and women who are gay that they are not gay. And sometimes these attacks have been so violent that the victims have died. And so in that climate, Archbishop Desmond Tutu made these bold statements. He's intimated them before, but in our interview, he said them very directly, saying essentially that God weeps to see us still not accepting all of the children he has created. And it was just very, it was listening to him talk about this, it was very, all of us who were on my team were deeply moved, because he means them very purposefully. He's very concerned about the level of homophobia that still exists across the world today. And specifically, not just specifically in Africa, but we should mention 38 nations in Africa. In those nations, it is illegal to have gay relations.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit more about memorable interviews you've done regarding the LGBT community and gay rights in your very long history as a journalist?
Well, I first began covering this issue before AIDS had a name. And when people were blaming this new disease on gay people, and when people would say out loud that it was God's wrath against gay people. And so much has changed. I think that when I really think about this issue, I think about ACT UP and how incredibly heroic I thought then and think now that they were, defending the lives of people who were getting sick against overt discrimination. I think that I remember they, like a lot of those throughout history who have changed the world, they proceeded in nonviolent protests. I mean, this is really how it's done. You get out there in large numbers and you speak up and you are transparent about your suffering and you make people understand that you, like everyone else, are a human being and deserve to be respected and treated as a human being. And they warned at that time that if the disease that would eventually be called HIV was not dealt with aggressively, then it would reach into every society in America. And indeed, they were right.
Yeah. You talk about change. Can you talk about kind of how the conversation around gay rights has sort of shifted during your career?
It's shifted dramatically. I mean, from the days I just described to where we are today, I know a lot is being said now and should be said now about what will happen with gay marriage across this country. I really don't have any doubt that the rights for gay people will increase, that we will see a day when every right that is afforded to heterosexual people will be afforded to gay people in America. I really don't think that there's anything to stop this eventually from coming true. The question now, I think, is what will happen globally? You know, the reason why Uganda, for example, has gone further than to say that it is illegal to have gay relations in Uganda, but actually, you can actually, if you engage in gay sex, you can actually be put in jail up to life in prison. The reason why this was instituted this year as a law in Uganda, the president of Uganda says, is because of the movement towards greater rights for gay people in the West. So the opening of more rights here in the West is causing an even greater pullback in other places in the world. And I think that the question is, can you stop discrimination in one place and not have it come back again if you don't deal with it all over the world? I think of discrimination as a disease. It can come back. You can get rid of it as you can get rid of polio in America and have it only rise elsewhere and threaten to come back here. I think a disease like this, discrimination like this, is something that maybe you have to deal with if you really want to eradicate it all over the world. If it's not just here, is it just anywhere?
And how do you see the conversation evolving over the next, say, 5 years?
Well, you know, I'm not the one to ask really and answer that question really, but from what I've watched, this dramatic change, the rise in people willing to march in the streets from the days of Stonewall 45 years ago through today, to march for justice and to be willing to be transparent so that people understand that these are all human stories. Watching that change, watching people who are not gay, the upstanders, as I just described Archbishop Tutu, standing up and speaking out about justice, which is right for all people. That this is an incredibly powerful and consistent, persistent movement. And I think the conversation will continue to push for greater equality. I think for gay people, I think for people of different races, I think for gender, I think for people who are different sizes than other people, I think for people who are transgender, I think that there is this constant move towards empathy that I've witnessed in my years as a journalist that I don't think is stoppable. I think the more we see each other for who we are, the less we're able to discriminate against each other. And I think that these ideas of discrimination, it's really more than the group and the transparency and the upstanders. It's in all of us. How do we live our lives when we go to a dinner and a party or in our own families? What do we allow? What kind of statements do we allow? And on that level, critical change is happening. And I think we all have that opportunity to make that change by not allowing this to be in our houses, at our gatherings, among our friends. Be willing to say, you know, that wasn't cool. That's not actually, you should take that back, and we should talk about why you said that. You know, I mean, I have ruined parties. Saying when somebody has made a homophobic joke and said, you know, we got to stop. We can't laugh and have another toast of that. That's not cool. So I think that's the kind of behavior each one of us, I mean, not that I encourage you to ruin a party, it's really not fun. But I think that this is the obligation of all of us. We should not allow this in our world anymore today.
Absolutely. So you've been covering human rights for so much of your career. Looking back now, what really stands out to you as initiatives or movements or campaigns that were really change-making?
It's primarily courage. It's the courage of those who have been victimized to stand up and say, we will not be victimized anymore. And to have the moral conviction, if you stay within the realms of nonviolence, if you stay within the realms of clear purpose, it is almost impossible to diminish it, to say, you have to respect that every one of us deserves dignity and justice. And I think that we've seen this in the heroism, I think, in the courage of MLK, of people who stood up to discrimination in the South, of women who stood up against discrimination against women, and write down the list of great movements. And I think, we're not done yet. It's not over. It's, we may say, yay, look at how much has changed, but I think discrimination is live and well. And it is, as I said, like a disease. It can reinfect people and reinfect young people. And so we have to inoculate ourselves and those we love and our communities. We don't want it. We don't want it around our children. We don't want it around the future. If we are successful in waking up to the reality that we are actually not that different. The list of what makes us different is very short. The things that make us the same is very long. We're actually all in one family. And when we recognize this, then as Desmond Tutu talks about, God wanting us to wake up to the fact that we are all what he's made, whether you are religious or not. I think that that's something to think about. One thing in particular, when we talk about what Desmond Tutu said, one thing in particular is it's really difficult when you talk to people who are deeply religious and who are gay. For them, how difficult it is when they have experienced the idea that God does not love gay people, how difficult that is for them. And I asked Desmond Tutu about the Bible, and I said, what do you have to say about the argument that the Bible says that there is something wrong with homosexuality? It was interesting to hear him say in the interview, the Bible says a lot of things that I don't believe, he said. He said, the Bible says a lot of things I don't believe because I know that the Bible comes from God through man. And so he said, you should not use things in the Bible to discriminate against anyone because it's actually not what God would want. It's very interesting to hear him say that. And I'm certain it'll be controversial. People listening to him, listening to me reiterate it now. But I think that this is the moment that we're at. And I'm enjoying speaking to you, and I hope that something I've said has been useful to the people who are listening.
It was great. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Tell everyone in LA hi.
All right, I will.
Bye, Ann.
Bye.
We're going to toss it over to Brian on the route.
Where are you, Brian?
And welcome back to the march. One great thing about the march is that there's a lot of subgroups in the LGBT community. Here with me right now is Ariel from one of them. Tell me who you're with and why you're in the parade.
Hi, we are from Satu Pelangi LGBT group from Indonesia. And we are marching here is because we want to represent the diversity of what we have in terms of the gay community, LGBT community. And it's important to show that diversity because among those diversity, there's a lot of great talents that if we all unite and help each other, it'll be a great problem.
And what is one of the highlights of the year for your organization?
We do a lot of outreach in terms of getting people to know about who we are in terms of our culture and food. And as you could see earlier, we have a lot of different kinds of fabrics.
You were the group that was dancing to Happy, right? A very ethnic version of Happy.
Yes.
Tell us about the song choices and your plan for the parade.
Basically, the song choices are very diverse. They're representing from the Indonesian ethnic music, from Balinese, including also the folk dangdut, which is the rakyat, the folk people song, as well as the more modern, young, hip Indonesian. So basically, it really represents what Indonesian GLBT people are in terms of song selections. So.
And how are you holding up in this heat? Is it unbearable?
Well, I grew up in Los Angeles and also in Indonesia, so this is actually very manageable.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks for your time, Ariel, and I'll let you catch back up to your group. And back to you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, and we have a YouTube comment from Patrick. Patrick says, the proudest moment of the year, celebrating 2 years since I came out to my family and friends at 15. Wow. Congratulations, Patrick.
That's a big accomplishment,
and,
Patrick.
I think we're going to give you a woo.
Woo!
All right. And now we're going to go to Carter Gibson, who's here via Hangout.
Hey, Carter.
Hey, Carter.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Carter's an LGBT advocate based in San Francisco. So Carter, things are amazing here in New York City. It's a beautiful day. The parade is like so fun. How's San Francisco Pride? How's everything going over there?
Oh, it's crazy. We have up on Twin Peaks, the highest point in the city, they put this giant pink triangle up, and everyone marches down Market Street towards the pink triangle on Twin Peaks. I live in the Mission District right now, so there's a lot of excitement about the World Cup going on. There's a lot of excitement about Pride. So there's just a lot of energy here, and it's great.
That's awesome. And what are you doing to celebrate Pride today?
Sure. Well, I celebrated pretty hard yesterday. We went out to the Robin concert where everyone was. It was fantastic. And then later today, I'm going to head back down to the parade. It's a little bit crazy downtown around 11. So
yeah,
we're chilling out here, waiting, and then I'm going to head over.
That's cool. You can see it's kind of crazy back here.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
So what kind of like turnout energy are you seeing today over there?
Oh, it's just crazy. I think that New York Pride is fantastic, LA Pride is fantastic, but San Francisco is known for really, really having a lot of energy, and everyone is out in their best clothes or wackiest clothes. So it's just great. A lot of people are celebrating it in different ways. A lot of my friends are just like getting together and like having cups of coffee, catching up, talking to each other. So it's also just another good reason for people to just get together.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Carter, you're the CEO and founder of the crowdfunding nonprofit organization Little Big Fund. Can you tell us about Little Big Fund's role in the gay rights movement and what they've kind of contributed to the community?
Sure. So I'm gay, so I obviously like to give back. So Little Big Fund basically uses stories from these awesome nonprofits that just aren't big enough to get their word out. So working with Google and working with some other people, we make sure that we can get their stories out and let people read them. So last year for Pride Month, we featured LGBT organizations. One hit really close to home, which was a DC marriage place that allowed some of my really, really good friends the ability to adopt a kid. So, we do stuff like that. And other times it's just smaller, like letting a nonprofit have the money to build a handicap ramp so they don't have to close.
Cool. So each month your organization supports 3 charities around a certain topic. Can you tell us what charities you chose this year and what the topic was?
Sure. So we took June off and we're going to start again in July. We sort of did some refocusing, and the July nonprofits will be announced in about 3 days after the board votes on them.
Awesome. Very cool. And how has social media supercharged LGBT activism?
Well, I think, one of the most important things that we can do as LGBT individuals is get our story out there. It's the classic, like, well, I don't know them and it doesn't touch me and they're not around here. When everyone got a voice to social media, let everyone see that, no, they are there. They're right next door to you, or they're at your school. And people were forced to have to deal with it. They were forced to have to deal with people sharing photos or rainbow flags or anything like that. So I think that by giving everyone a voice, it becomes a lot less mysterious, which I think is great.
Yeah. And what do you want people to remember about Pride 2014?
Mostly I want people to remember that it's about support. And even if they're put off by the festivities or the craziness, or, maybe they're a little bit more introverted and they don't think that's for them, everything happening on the street right now is supporting them. It's just a fun way to show it, and that they can practice Pride however they want. I think that, they don't have to feel the pressure of having to go out and be there at 11 and do all this crazy stuff just like everyone else is doing, that they can do it in their own little way, that there are a lot of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
They can do it by watching us. Which a lot of people are.
There you go.
We have people all around the world watching us. Do you have a message for them?
I think just do everything in your own time. Listen to yourself. Don't feel pressured. There's a lot of commentary about what you should do and what you shouldn't do and what's right and what's wrong. And your situation is different than any situation that person can imagine. So just listen to yourself, make an educated decision, but don't ever do anything just because you think or don't ever not do anything just because you think it's going to be tough. The tough is good.
And Carter, just one last question. Do you have one particular thing that you're proud of from the past year?
Oh gosh. So
that's a tough question.
Yeah. A tough question. I tried to answer it, I couldn't do it.
I guess related to Pride, you know, my dad and I have been really, really great friends. We've been getting along really, really well. But I've made an effort over the past year to tell more about my dating life, to tell more about like the people I'm seeing, which makes him a little bit uncomfortable, but he's trying to be supportive. So I'm actually just really glad that him and I broke down that barrier a little bit more. I have a boyfriend now who's fantastic. So it's cool to sort of see him grow with that, and I'm very, very happy that we're able to have those conversations. So I think that would be my takeaway from last year that I'm proud of.
That was a good answer.
Yeah, that's much better than my answer.
I'm sure.
Thank you so much for joining us, and
we're sending our New York Pride love to San Francisco.
We're sending our
and San Francisco City right back to you.
And go out and enjoy the day and have fun.
Absolutely, already am.
Thank you so much, Carter.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. All right, and let's see what's happening on the route here. Have we heard from Sam?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Bring on.
And don't forget to send us your comments or questions or things that you are proud of to the hashtag Pridecast. We'll be reading them out loud live on YouTube, so you can leave it in the YouTube comments.
Live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube.
And tell us where you're watching from.
Yeah, let us know where you're watching from. I think Annie got some Pride swag.
I did. I have a nice necklace that I've turned into a bracelet.
That was very crafty of you.
DIY.
Some Pride DIY.
DIY on the fly.
Yeah, it's a TD Bank bracelet. I think Keels also threw some stuff at us back here as they marched by. There's some interesting things happening over here on 5th Avenue.
People like to throw stuff at us.
All right.
Speaking of throwing stuff at people, we're going to throw it to the float and Sam.
Sam?
Well, I hope Sam's okay. I'm sure she's having fun.
I think we'll hear from her eventually.
Hi everyone, we're right now on the route. The Google float is floating very well. Actually, it's actually moving up and down as we speak. It's basically a dance party right down the road. And actually, we're right underneath the Empire State Building. And it's just so loud and everyone's having such a great time. You can just feel the energy, and it's great to come up and see different patches of people in different costumes, different organizations, and it's just a great place to be. Maybe we can pan out a little bit of the vibe over here. All right, you can kind of get a feel for it, and we'll toss it back to you guys, but come back soon and we'll show you more.
And we're back. Right along 5th Avenue, the march is on.
The march is on.
What's been the coolest thing we've seen today?
The coolest thing I've seen today was probably the Delta show, because they actually put on a performance. They had
they did
some drag queens lip syncing to a song, so it was kind of like a little performance. What about you?
That's a tough call. I liked the color guard because
Color
it
guard
gives
was
me
cool.
something to aspire to.
And the horses.
And the horses,
Those
yes.
were fun.
Yeah, they were fun. All right, we're gonna go to a hangout right now with Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Going.
Hi, Rebecca. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride to you as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Absolutely. So I work with Campus Pride, and we're a national LGBT organization working for LGBT youth on college campuses. What we do is we want to empower students and give them the right resources to create change on their campuses so that they can be more LGBT friendly.
Wonderful. So why is it so important to have a day like today that celebrates this community?
I mean, this is who we are. You know, so many times people make us feel like we can't be who we are, or we have to change to maybe fit a certain norm. And Pride is all about just letting go of all of those tensions and being able to express ourselves exactly there.
Mm-hmm. And how has the LGBT community really affected your life?
I mean, it's who I am, you know, being able to find that identity and understand that there are other people out there. And I found names to describe who I am. The LGBT community helped me feel more free. And so now I'm giving back, being able to be a part of Campus Pride and be of service to my generation, right? We're the future. And so this is super important to me to give back to that.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your first Pride March experience? Do you remember it?
Absolutely. My first Pride March experience was at Long Beach Pride, I think back in 2011. And just walking up, we just shouted, "We're here, we're queer, we're absolutely fabulous." And I absolutely love that.
Great. And what have been some of the biggest accomplishments for Campus Pride this year? What do you want to brag about to the internet right now?
Absolutely. So we're getting ready to launch another national LGBT-friendly college fair program. This is the first year that we are partnering with GLSEN, and we're providing an online virtual college fair this year for the first time ever, along with the 8 physical cities that we'll be reaching. This is a good way for us to help maybe break some of those barriers that students have. First-generation college students, people in rural areas, we want to be able to give them that access if they can't make it to New York or LA or the other larger cities. So we're super excited to partner with GLSEN on this year.
And what do you think college students can do to really get involved and help the community?
I think be aware, right? Understand your campus, where your campus is at. There are so many different profiles, whether it's a 2-year college, a 4-year college, religiously affiliated. And so if students can help understand what change they can make there by being, you know, diplomatic, working with the administration, and using the Campus Pride Index to sort of gauge where their campus is and what changes can be made from there.
Mm-hmm. And what do you hope that these college students are getting from Campus Pride that then they can take into their adult life later on?
I like to call it our chosen family. So students come to our Leadership Academy and they return to us and they stay connected with us and share their experience, and they feel that love and that connection with the resources that they can continue finding a place where they feel safe to take those opportunities back to campus and create the same change that they felt.
Mm-hmm. And are there any campaigns or programs that you're excited about right now? Like, what should we be following? What should we be paying attention to?
Absolutely. So Camp Pride is coming up in July, and that's our big Leadership Academy. We have collegiate students come join us, as well as advisors and professionals, and we give them the power, the tools to go back to their campus to create that change. We have a fabulous lineup. Janet Mock will be joining us at camp this year, Mark Kiesling, Dr. Reverend Jamie Washington. There are just so many people that will be joining us and participating with LGBT to give them really the camp of their life.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any advice for any like LGBT college students that might be watching right now?
Absolutely. Go online, check out the Campus Pride Index, find your college. If it's not there, work with your institution to get your campus on the index. That way more prospect students can find an LGBT-friendly college, and you can create a benchmark for your campus.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Happy Pride.
Pride. And we have some more of your comments and tweets. So from Nicholas Perez, proudest moment, becoming engaged to my boyfriend of 8 years. Although we can't wait to get married in Texas, we hope one day we can. NYC will do fun now.
For now.
For now. Oh, for now. It is fun, but for now.
Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Nicholas.
Yes, to you and your boyfriend, Nick.
Yeah.
And
NYC is a great place to celebrate a marriage.
Yeah.
It is.
Especially today.
Especially today. This is a great honeymoon spot. We recommend it.
Yeah. You should definitely come down here to where we're filming and celebrate your marriage.
Indeed.
We have another one from Ida Busk. Enjoying your cast from Copenhagen, Denmark. It made me really want to go to NYC again, like really soon. Have a blast. Well, what are you waiting
should come
for?
to NYC.
You should probably come right now.
You can hang out with us.
I think you're gonna miss the parade if you don't hurry.
Yeah. You better hop on a flight. Denmark is kind of far.
I wonder what time it is in Denmark.
9 p.m. I'm just guessing. I don't actually know. You can tell us, Ida, if you can just let us know what time it is there.
Ida, will you let us know what time it is in Copenhagen, please? And then from Greg Page, it's been 13 years since I came out at the young age of 11. Be true to yourself, best decision of my life.
That's some great advice.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Congrats,
well,
Greg.
It's been a while, but congratulations. Woo.
Woo!
And happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
We're very proud of you. And let's check out what's happening
in
here
the
on
march.
Fifth Avenue.
I believe we have the medical marijuana marchers strolling on by.
All right.
Although they don't have any music.
You think they'd have music? Don't forget to send us your questions for Dave Studinsky.
He'll be joining us at the end of our broadcast.
Yeah. So you can send the
if you wanted to know anything about the NYC Pride March, he's the man to ask. He knows everything.
Yeah, if you want to know about all the work it takes to put together a march like this, now's the time to ask, really. I'm curious as to what he's doing afterwards.
Yeah. Seems like he would be a busy guy today.
You think they make him clean up the parade, the march route?
I would hope not.
Yeah.
No.
Not by himself. Maybe they send him a couple guys to help.
Girl, this dress by Martha Smith. Yes.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Having fun? Dave?
Yes, Dave, nice to meet you.
Dave, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Names?
Annie.
Armand.
Annie? And
Armand.
Roger?
Armand.
Armand. Annie, Armand. Awesome. Check 1, 2. This is Dave talking. I'm talking right now. You all good?
I think we found Sam.
We did find Sam. She looks like she's having a great time.
I think she is having a good time.
So the Google float just rolled by. The Google float just rolled by.
Yep. David Studinsky, you're the NYC Pride March director. So tell us about, well, first of all, happy Pride.
Happy Pride to you.
Happy Pride.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
being here.
What a gorgeous day. This is so amazing.
It's perfect.
And I'm so happy that we're able to bring this to the whole world today.
How's your day been so far? As
Great.
far as is all of your work already done, or did you wake up this morning and still had stuff to do?
No. We have a tremendous team of volunteers who have been working on this year-round, and an amazing team that I have backing us up today, who are spread out across this route right now, taking care of things, so I can be here with you guys. And I mean, nearly 300, 400 volunteers who are helping us put on this event today. So, I mean, our day is far from over. We'll continue on until probably 6:15, 6:30 tonight along this route until our final group march is off.
Wow. And can you tell us what goes into planning this event?
It is a year-round effort that's put on by NYC Pride, and of course the March here is our signature event, but it's not our only one. We have an entire Pride week of activities. We had the rally on Friday night, family movie night on Tuesday, our women's dance last night, Tease, and then tonight we cap it all off with the fireworks and the dance on the pier featuring Demi Lovato. So there are teams and teams of people who are putting this whole spectacle on, and we start planning in about a week for next year.
So you get a week off?
I get a week off, maybe.
Okay.
So July 4th, I always joke, July 4th is like my Pride weekend because I'm so busy here making sure everybody else enjoys theirs.
And how long have you been doing this? How long have you been planning
this
these?
This is my 4th year here with NYC Pride. It's my 5th Pride. I came back in 2008 when I was pretty fresh out of the closet, actually, and we were still way up at 59th Street at the time doing the whole thing. And then I joined in 2011, came in as a volunteer, and next thing I know, here it is, 2014, and I'm March director.
Does it get easier?
I'll tell you next year after my first year, but I will say that it's been great getting to know so many people. So many of my dear friends are a part of this organization, and they're not all LGBT. Some of my closest friends are straight allies who help out with this, and I think that's one of the amazing things about this was it brings people together, as we see today with 2 million people surrounding us.
Yeah.
And what do you hope that people take away from the NYC Pride March?
Well, the key thing for the march is awareness. You know, we are still having a march. It's not a parade, and you know, that's because there are still struggles going on. We've been very fortunate here in New York City, but, you know, across the nation, just my home state of Indiana, just this week, having finally some major progress back home for some of my LGBT friends. So we still have a long way to go here, let alone the rest of the world where oppression is even, you know, more rampant. So, you know, as we say, we will continue fighting. We will continue marching until equality is served the world over. And that's why this year's theme is we have won when we're one.
What are some of the LGBT organizations or influencers that are out there right now that you have either looked up to or that you've been paying attention to?
Well, you know, I think the biggest thing, when we think back to our Grand Marshal planning that we started to do last September, last August, we knew that coming off the heels of such major victories with equality for gay, lesbians, and bisexuals, there were other places that we needed to look. You know, bisexuals still, you know, we need to do a lot to support them, and our transgender friends as well, you know, making huge strides this year. Laverne Cox, an amazing, amazing person, so sweet, so happy to have her.
On the cover of Time.
Yeah, on the cover of Time.
That's
insane.
Time. And I would like to point out, we had her on our Pride Guide cover before Time had her on ours. So, you know, I don't know where that happened, but, you know, I think that's just one of the things where every year we need to look at what it takes, because within our own community, within the LGBT community, we know who needs attention, but it's our job, and actually thanks to you guys and thanks to the world over today, that we can bring these struggles and this effort to the forefront of everyone's mind in the mainstream so that our cause continues to move on.
And if somebody wants to get involved in the cause, if they want to get involved in the LGBT community to support them, do you have any advice?
You know, the best thing to do is know when you're ready. You know, if you're still questioning, if you're still waiting to come out, it's okay. You don't need to rush that. Be comfortable with yourself before you're ready to jump onto a, you know, a route like this. And for me, it's only been a matter of maybe 8 or 9 years, really, since I really fully came out. But you know, once you're ready to make that movement, start small. You know, work with some of the organizations out there who are helping LGBT youth and question youth, like the Trevor Project. You know, work your way up to an event like this with NYC Pride or your local Pride. But more importantly, just be yourself every day. Be proud of who you are, and then it's Pride every single day of the year.
What's the one thing you're most proud of from the past year?
You know, from the past year, in terms as it relates to NYC Pride, that this is happening right now, that you guys are here. This was actually one of the things that I wanted to do so dearly this year, was to bring this march to people in the farthest stretches of the nation and of the earth, really. Yep. You know, because I'm from Indiana. I'm not a native New Yorker, and I was at home once. My God, if I'd been watching this when I was still trying to come to terms with things, I wonder how much different it would have been. And I hope that there's someone out there today, and I know that there someone is, who is still struggling, who's still coping, and is ready to kind of take that next step. And I hope that they understand that when they look behind us, when they see this 2-mile stretch of 14,000 marchers, more than 300 groups, and 2.5 million spectators, plus all of our friends at home, we're not alone.
Well, and we have a huge international viewership right now.
Yeah, we've had comments from all over the world.
Yeah. Do you have anything that you would like to say to them, or that you would like them to take away from watching this?
You know, again, it starts with being yourself. Be true, and I know it's hard in some places where a lot of people do not have the luxuries that we do, these rights, and they're not even really luxuries, these rights that we've finally been granted, that they're still working for. We're behind them. We are here for them, and we will all work together until this is done, until we are all one front, and the world treats us as equals.
Where do you see the conversation moving in the coming years?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Yes, I know, it's very loud. We have
Flaming, one of my great favorite bars here, Flaming Saddles, coming down the route right now.
They have a great flow.
Doing awesome.
Where do you see the conversation moving to and evolving to?
You know, as we look to 2015, I think we need to continue to keep in mind some of the things that are not at the forefront of mainstream's, you know, mind. We did a great job this year with the transgender movement. We need to go back and take a look at our friends in the bisexual community. Continue to pay a mind to every letter of the spectrum. There's no one letter that's more important than most, but we have to stay on the footprint to make sure that we're doing the best thing possible. Some of my bartenders are waving at me. This is cracking me up.
You can say hi.
Hello, boys.
Hi.
Happy Pride.
Hello, Steve. How we doing, fans?
How you doing?
We love what you're doing over there.
We love what you're doing.
You gotta do an interview with us doing right like this. We gotta say up in Hell's Kitchen, yippee game, mother truckers. We love you all.
Amazing. This is what it's about. You know, no matter where you are today, everyone's behind you. That's what today's about.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you want people to remember about Pride 2014?
You know, a beautiful day, and not just our Pride. There are prides around the world today. World Pride up in Toronto, our friends out in San Francisco, Chicago. We're here. We're still working. We're still fighting for our cause, and we've got work to do. But we have a lot to celebrate over the past year. We have a lot to look forward to over the next year, and it's time to keep moving on and making sure that people understand that we're here for a reason and we have a lot to fight for.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys. Thank you to Google. Thank you to YouTube. Thank you to Mashable for being on board with this. It is so great to have you behind us and with the LGBT cause. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's great to
Thank you guys.
meet you. And go home tonight and get some sleep.
I will too. You know, I'm going out to visit Demi on the pier tonight.
Oh, well, that's much cooler than going home and going to sleep. But cool. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And I guess we're gonna check out some more of the parade, or the march. The march. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. We just here for the party. Are you here for the party? Let's hear it, New York.
I don't have any excuse for that because I have a change.
The Wild Wild West. Oh yeah. We're here for the party, New York. You here for the party? Connecticut. Jonathan, I'll hit the guy in the head.
Oldest P-Flag chapter in Connecticut. P-Flag Southwestern Connecticut. Happy Pride for Kinky Food.
Hey! Oh, nothing but a party! Gay Pride 2014, this is the party! Yeah! Come on now! Yeah, yeah, yeah!
All right.
Oh.
And we're gonna go to Brian now. Brian, where are you?
Welcome back to the sideline of the march. I'm here with Walter from Front Runners, a running organization in New York City. Why is it so important to have subgroups in the LGBT community, especially ones that are fitness related?
Oh my God, it's like, it's health, it's social, it's everything you can imagine. It's like everything you can balance out New York with.
And you're fresh off running the Pride event yesterday. Tell us about that.
The Pride event was great. It was like 5,000 runners finishing it, 423 front runners doing it. It was amazing, an amazing event.
And earlier we saw your group run by us, literally run by us. It was so cool. What was the strategy behind that, and why does it? How do you plan that? How often do you do it?
Oh, we need to show everybody that running is for everybody, no matter what distance or speed or whatever you do. It's all about just having a good time and exercising and just being social with it.
And how can people watching right now join?
They can go to frny.org, and they can have nice legs too.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, and we'll let you run along and catch up to your group. And back to you guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. We're going to keep watching the parade here.
Flag Long Island is proud to stand with you and our children in the fight for equality for us all. Let's say hello to our friends at MasterCard. Remember all the faces, remember all their voices. Everything is different the second time around. Yes, let's give it up, Pride! What's up, Walmart? Walmart celebrates Pride with its first inclusion in the Heritage of Pride Parade. Yes, yes, welcome to the parade, Walmart. Happy Pride.
They are rolling it back.
Honey, we are rolling back the prices, but not the pride. That's right. Honey, we've got folks from Walmart from the tri-state area. Yeah. Yes, Walmart. Let's give it up for the SUNY Downstate Medical Center, the Star Health Center, and Canva, where you can. Yeah. The animals, trap, trap, trap till the cage is full. The cage is full, the day is new, and everyone's waiting, waiting on you, and you've got time. Think of all the roads, think of all their crossings. Taking steps is easy, standing still is hard. Remember all the faces, remember all the voices. Everything is different
beginning of dancing in New York. Let me pride festival. Yes.
All right, and we're back here at the booth in Flatiron with our correspondent, Samantha Murphy.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
It's great. I have to say it's very, very toasty out there. You guys have the nice tented area here, but it was really nice. There were people just kind of watching, and they were bringing water to people on the route and everything, so that was really great.
We were worried that you weren't staying hydrated and that you did not put on sunscreen, but you look great.
I thank you. Lots of sunscreen, multiple applications. I've dealt with this a long time, under control. And we had a cooler back near where the DJ was, so we were doing great. But it was really cool, you know, just obviously the vibe is just everyone's so excited to be here. You could just tell everybody's celebrating. But what was really neat too is you could see people hanging off of trees, climbing up to get a better view, people in the buildings and the offices waving. And of course we were like, oh, they have air conditioning up there. We're so jealous. And they had such an amazing view. So it was really neat to kind of get that perspective of being right on the route.
And where did you start the parade?
We were up on 37th Street, and it was amazing because one of the first things we saw was the Empire State Building. And just coming down Fifth Avenue was amazing, and then of course Flatiron, and then all the way down towards Washington Square Park too. And then now it's on its way to the Village. So just to kind of go through and see, and what was really neat too is you could tell, obviously people who had come out specifically for this, but there's lots of shops in this area too. So people, you know, making an errand and then being like, all right, I think I'll just stick around for a little bit and see what this is all about. So it was kind of neat just to see more people coming than ever before, really. It's just so many people here.
And you were on the Google float.
Yep.
Were there any special guests on there?
So basically we had the mascot in the front. It was the little android guy. Nice. And basically a lot of the Googlers themselves were on there. Supporters of the community, or people, employees themselves. And like I said, the vibe was just really great. So we didn't have any guests, but it was very loud. And like I mentioned earlier, you could physically feel, I had to like hold on and make sure I was staying on that float. So it was great and a lot of fun.
What was it like getting a different perspective of the march? You're above everyone, you get to be in it. Was that a different experience?
Yeah, I mean, it was my first time being a part of the march, and it is certainly different, that's for sure. And you know, everyone's looking at you guys, but it's exciting because people are cheering you on and you're cheering back at them. And it's like you have this moment with all these people at the same time, and it's just really exciting. And like I said, it's very loud, but it's kind of cool as you move inward. You hear out, you know, we were behind the Latino Center, and then there was a bar in Midtown, and it was just like cool to hear the different music and the different vibe that each float had.
Did you get any swag?
No swag. Oh, I had a sticker that said I had nice legs, but I was like, I'm very short, so I don't know about that.
Oh, right. From the front runners.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The NYC front runners.
Right. So anyway, lots of stickers and fans, which was very appreciated as well. So we were like, give us everything you got. And the water, again, was definitely the tops.
What was the craziest thing you saw?
Oh, let's see, craziest. I mean, a lot of it was just, you know, the costumes were amazing, the feathers, especially it is so hot out. And I was like, you know, some people have less on than others, but then there are people who have these elaborate costumes, and I'm just like, it must be so hot, but just really beautiful at the same time. I saw some people in Google Glass, which was interesting to kind of get that first person point of view. Hopefully they'll post it online later. And like I said, just, you know, people watching it all different, you know, hanging out the windows and everything was really neat to see as well. Just really a special day, and just kind of to be a part of it, it's really an honor, and just with everybody being excited at the same time, you can't help but not be excited yourself.
And to be on a float and to kind of go through the streets like that must have been just like a crazy experience.
I was holding on one hand, water in the other hand, a little balance, so it all worked out quite well.
That's great. That's great.
And everything here, I'm sure you guys got to see so much coming through as well.
We are like on the march route, so you know, we got a great experience from it.
Yeah.
The music's been blasting, and we've seen everybody that's come by. And
we've had a lot of people waving.
We got a lot of people waving.
Offering to join us in the tent.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
How about you? Any highlights? Any standouts?
You know, I think it's been really great hearing from everybody that's been watching us internationally. Mm-hmm. We've had South Korea, Japan,
Iceland,
Denmark. So it's been really, really cool to hear that from everybody that's been watching us from around the world and from, you know,
all
other
our guests
states.
too,
yeah, and from our guests as well. We had some really great people. So
that's great. And I heard the governor was around, the mayor. I know that there was somebody Brian was talking to a little earlier.
Brian got it.
They were really excited.
Yep.
That's awesome as well.
Yep. So I guess that's it for us today. It's been
wonderful.
It's been a wonderful day.
We hope that you guys felt like you got to be a part of the Pride March by watching us on the internet.
Keep tweeting or sending messages with the hashtag Pridecast and the hashtag Woo with 10 O's.
And pictures, lots of pictures.
Lots of pictures,
we want to see your photos.
And we'll be rebroadcasting this on YouTube, so you can watch it again. Or you can
keep watching it.
Just keep watching it on repeat.
Just keep it going.
Well,
thank you so much.
From New York City and Flatiron, you know, my name is Armand Valdez.
And I'm Annie Colbert.
And thank you for watching.
It's been Pride 2014.